About some round one draft grades on some of the picks that caught our attention. A lot was made where Jeremiah Love would land, and he ended up going number 3 to the Cardinals. What grade do you give that pick? Everyone's going to go around the horn here. We'll start with RC. Rye, what do you think?
I give this grade an A, and here's why. I know they wanted to trade back, but there was no one at number 3 that was going to be more dynamic, more impactful than Jeremiah Love. And I believe when they couldn't find the right suitor for that pick, they went with the best player that can have the most upside and immediate impact right now, and that's Jeremiah Love, in the same vein of those Saquon Barkleys and Bijan Robinsons.
Spears.
I agree with RC wholeheartedly. You take the best player that's available when you have so many needs around and throughout your football team. Mm-hmm. You bring in a stalwart guy that you think can start for your football team with a new head coach and get some of the energy and the juice going while you decide on the rest of your roster.
Yep. I'm disagreeing with the both of them and giving this grade a B because, number one, you can't protect them because you have nothing around them, and B, because I'm in no mood to agree with anything that RC and Swagoo has to say this morning.
I agree with you, Stephen A. I can't believe they gave them A's. No O-line, no quarterback. What are we talking about here? There had been a lot
I'm not agreeing with anything.
There had been a lot of talk about the Chiefs adding perhaps an offensive weapon, but they end up trading to number 6 to take a defensive back, essentially. What grade do we give the Chiefs for the pick? Ryan Clark, you first, around the horn again.
So it's LSU guy, right? So I'm going to give it a B+. And here's why. You were looking for a Jordan Tyson or a Cornell Tate, but the difference between Mansour Delane and the next cornerback in this draft is so vast. You lost your 2 starting corners if you're the Kansas City Chiefs. He's a perfect fit for what Steve Spagnuolo wants to do. He can play off coverage. He can play press. He's a great tackler, and he competes. He's going to walk into that building on day 1 and be a starter. I love this pick, and I love the aggression to address a need with the best player at the position.
Hey, I'm going to put Stephen A in a whirlwind because I want to see what he's going to give him. This is an A+ for me. 1, because it's a position of need. 2, because I think you got a high-level cornerback with Steve Spagnuolo, who likes to pressure and put his corners in man-to-man situations. So I love the pick. You see Mansour Delane at LSU, a lot of man-to-man coverage. He won a lot of those reps. Yep. You can put him in zone. You can play all of the defensive looks you want to play with him at cornerback. But more importantly, it was a position of need, and you got a high-level player, the best player in the draft at that particular position.
It was a position of need, especially after losing Trent McDuffie to the Rams when you moved him away. I understand that, but I'm going to still disagree because I think they need more help on offense for Patrick Mahomes. And again, I'm not agreeing with anything that RC and Swagoo says this morning. So I'm disagreeing. I'm disagreeing.
What do you grade it? What's the grade?
A B. A B, not a B+ and not an A.
You agree with
Just because I disagree with y'all. He said a B+.
Okay, not only did they trade Trent McDuffie, they also traded Jalen Watson. Right. So they had a hole to fill there. Finally,
I'm not agreeing with anything they say.
The Steelers drafted offensive tackle Max Ihanachor at 21 after being on the phone with wide receiver Malachi Lemon while Philadelphia was calling Lemon to draft him at 20. Mess a little bit, but did they do the right thing? What grade do we give the Steelers, Ryan Clark?
I'm going to be honest. I give this a C. I think Malachi Lemon was the guy, and Max Ihanachor is a young player in the sense that he's only been playing football since junior college. He's a Nigerian immigrant, so he's still learning to play this game. He's still trying to feel his way through. And think back to Broderick Jones, who was the starting tackle last year, and some of his troubles. I think the Steelers were caught in a bit of a conundrum when you're on the phone with Malachi Lemon, and now you have to go to the next pick or to the next player on your board. They're going to have to do some work in the rest of this draft that they don't have a ton of picks in to find someone on this team that can continue to help offensively because there's so many holes if you're Mike McCarthy's offense.
Yeah, look, it's difficult, man, because these guys get drafted and you want to have a great, sound around them and give. But I agree with RC. It's a C because it doesn't move anything for me with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think if you would have went offense, and look, they ran into a conundrum. Simpson would have been a good choice for them at where they stood. Ty left at 13. Obviously, we just talked about Malachi Lemon. So you go to a position that usually hits in the NFL. Very rarely do you draft an offensive lineman and he doesn't find his way on the field, whether that be at tackle or guard. But like RC said, there's experience, there's development that needs to take place. And trust me, these Pittsburgh Steelers fans are not going to be locked in on an offensive lineman next year. They'll be locked in on production offensively. Can they be explosive? All of the things we talked about last year that was missing with this offense.
I'm giving it an F. And it's not because of the player. I know that he can play, and I wish him nothing but the best, but you don't have a quarterback to block for. You don't really have a running game to block for. You've got no excitement whatsoever in Pittsburgh right now. Mike Tomlin is working on NBC, so we got to look forward to him instead of being on the sideline for the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's nothing to be excited about as far as I'm concerned. And again, to say anything differently would be agreeing with RC and Swagoo, which I am not going to do.
Okay, but maybe getting some protection.
He is acting like a baby right now.
Hey, I will say this. This feels a lot like talking about Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart and Karl Anthony Towns and Mike Brown right now. So maybe, Swag, we would be giving the same exact grade if we were talking about what we saw on the court in Atlanta last night.
An F or a C? Which one would you give? You gave an F, you gave a C.
I'm going to get him.
Nonetheless,
I'm going to get him.
Nonetheless, maybe some blocking for Aaron Rodgers if he does come back is a good thing.
I'm going to get him.
Go ahead, RC.
I mean, here's my thing. They obviously need to get a wide receiver. I don't think any of us, and maybe I'm wrong, expected Cornell Tate to go at 4 to the Tennessee Titans.
No,
and so I think immediately this draft was in flux. When you draft Arvell Reese at 5, he's different than Kayvon Thibodeau. He's different than Abdul Carter. Some of the things we saw them try to do with Abdul Carter that were separate or opposite of what we saw him do at Penn State, Arvell Reese has already done. He's not going to have to play in the same space that those guys are. There's some run and hit and hunt in Arvell Reese that's not in any of those players in the entire locker room for the New York Giants. So to me, that was a slam dunk. And then when you get to 10, and Jordan Tyson's already gone. Cornell Tate is already gone. The thing you can't do is reach for a wide receiver there and then now set your team back when you are trying to protect Jackson Dart, who we knew already had injury concerns. And so you go down to Miami and you get an absolute dog. You get a phenomenal road grader and someone that is going to put the team on his back to protect Jackson Dart. I believe that's smart. But Dan, you are 100% correct. When they walk out of the building tonight, when they leave that facility in East Rutherford, there better be a wide receiver added to this roster because you do set your young quarterback back if you do not.
I got to say this with both of y'all on the air because I don't know how much time we have y'all because y'all are very busy individuals doing the NFL. I mean, you're just so busy. I'm blessed and fortunate to have you.
No, it's because you got to do basketball.
I got that part.
You got to go to the Knicks. Go New York, go New York, go. You got to go to the Knicks. You got to go to the Knicks.
I'm not in the mood for that this morning. I'm not in the mood for that this morning, Dan Orlovsky.
CJ,
don't kick me off. I was in a very good mood until y'all did that. Don't do that. Y'all supposed to be my boys. Y'all supposed to be my boys. Don't do that to me this morning. Don't do that to me because I'm pissed off enough as it is. But I want to say this about Ohio State. Top 11 picks in the NFL draft. 4 of them came from Ohio State. 3 on the defensive side of the ball. How the hell did you not win the national championship with Styles, with Reese, with Downs? What the? I mean, I love Ryan Day. I had the pleasure of interviewing him weeks ago before the playoffs. I mean, with Ohio State, I'm like, how the hell they lose? That's what I was asking about Duke with basketball when you had Cooper Flag and
they're going to have another 4 next year.
Together.
No. I'll handle this one. It's because Indiana won the championship and we had the #1 overall pick in Fernando Mendoza. That's why Ohio State didn't win the national championship.
Oh, that's what we do, Shay. That's what we're doing this morning.
That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing this morning.
Coming up, Stephen A., we're going to talk about those Knicks. Yikes! They fell short again and now trail in their series against the Hawks. Stephen A. knows